Good evening, everyone. My young people, they know what that means when I come to the podium. So you got to lead by example, young people. Good evening, everyone. This is a great event and a reason to celebrate. So the energy can be a little bit better when I say good evening. Remember, parents, they got a couple of days before they walk across the stage at the Centos Center. So let's try good evening again. Good evening, everyone. Yes. That's a little better. First of all, my name's Eric Martin. I am the high school principal here at Winton Woods High School. I would like to welcome all of our guests, the students who we are honoring, their most influential educators, and most importantly, the parents and families that are here who love their kids, who support their kids, and excited about their kids' next chapter. So if I can get all of my students to stand up, students, put your plaques down in your seat, turn and face the audience, all of our loved ones, and let's give them a standing ovation. Thank you. You guys can be seated. We are extremely excited about the accomplishment of the young people we are honoring today. It's a special moment when they take the time and reflect over their school experience and they think about the adults that work with them in the classroom and in the school building that truly made a difference in their life. This is always one of our most special events, and I'm excited to be a part of it. Got a little emotional there for a minute, y'all. You bear with me. Take my time? I appreciate that. This class, I've been here going on 10 years as the principal here at Winton Woods High School. And when I initially became the principal, we used to celebrate about 16 students who have achieved the honor of an honors diploma. This year, we're celebrating 61. I truly believe when the district decided to put a lot of emphasis and focus on the way we teach with project-based learning, it made the difference. We were able to tap into students' passions, the things they were excited about. We were able to give them voice and choice, and we were able to help them develop a plan, and most importantly, protect their plan. So it's really exciting to see the number of students we have that we're honoring tonight. And when we leave this program, we're honoring 190 students for academic achievement. So it's pretty exciting to be a warrior. It's a pretty good time to be a warrior. Next year, we're expecting about 75 honor diplomas kids. So that's pretty exciting. That's worth clapping for. As you know, when I get a microphone, I can continue to go on and on and on. But I'm going to keep this program moving, and I'm going to bring to the stage Dr. Viola Johnson, president of Winton Woods City School Board.
Mr. Martin. Hello, good evening, welcome, and thank you for taking time out of your evening to attend the celebration in recognition of the Winton Woods High School Honors Diploma students. I am Dr. Viola Johnson, and I currently serve as the president of the Winton Woods City School Board of Education. I'd like to acknowledge the mayor of Forest Park, Mayor Aaron Brown, over here. Thank you for coming out tonight and being with us for this wonderful occasion. It is with much pleasure that I stand before you to extend a very heartfelt thank you to the parents and guardians for supporting your child to this level of honor and success. Congratulations to all the Honors Diploma students and to those most influential teachers. This awesome tradition of honoring the students and coming together to recognize their academic success of the Honors Diploma students is a great privilege for the district. Your impressive achievements have not gone unnoticed, and we congratulate you all once again for your well-deserved success. As you enter into the next phase of your journey, remember the hard work and dedication that it took to get to this point, and that hard work, talent, drive, and vision will always outlast tough times, and we look forward to hearing about your success in the future. Thank you, and now I'd like to move on with the program with Mr. Anthony G. Smith, Superintendent.
Thank you. Mr. Martin mentioned something earlier about how many students we're anticipating for next year. And he gave you a number, and he is a more literary person. He is not a numbers person. And so I'm going to correct his number. He told you that it was 75. It will be 100. You didn't know that, did you, sir? So thank you for upping the number. But what I wanted to do is let you know this is not just about the academic success. This is about the resiliency of every young person in this room. Young people, raise your hand if you participate in activities in the school. Okay. Raise your hand if you have a job. Raise your hand if you love me. All right, very good. That was good. I'm just checking. But I think one of the most important parts about this whole journey is people think you have to do this or that. You can do this and that. You can do both of them at the same time. You can achieve academically. You can participate in activities. You can work if that becomes your choice, but you can also represent your school in a very, very eloquent way. So I appreciate every one of you. I appreciate your hard work. You didn't just start doing this hard work when you became to the high school. You started this many, many years ago. And so I thank you for your resiliency. I thank you for your agency. I thank you for your commitment. And to every parent in the room, thank you very, very much for sending your child to Winton Woods City Schools. We totally appreciate you. And now I'll bring up our school board vice president, Mr. Jeff Birdie.
Good evening. Really quickly want to recognize some of our past sponsors for the Honors Diploma Dinner. So would those past sponsors please stand up? I believe Paula Kuhn, who's a current board member, and Mr. and Mrs. Jordan as well are here. Thank you. Thank you. And then I'm going to introduce our other board members. We've already met Dr. Johnson, who was up here before. She's our board president. We have Paula Kuhn, who's also a member of the board. You can stand up so they can see who you are. Come on. We have Ms. Deborah Bryant over here on this side and Mr. Brandon Smith. And with that, we will move on with our program, and I believe Amber Strasser is next.
Good evening. It is now my honor to welcome all of our scholars and their influential teachers, and we will begin with our valedictorian, Stacy Surwa, and her most influential teacher, Dr. Chris Tape.
So Dr. Tape would be my most influential teacher, and I chose him because I had him as a teacher my freshman year, then I had him my senior year. And throughout those years, at first I thought that he was just being annoying just based on the things that he said. Just thinking more into the future versus us when we were freshmen, we were just thinking of high school. But now as a senior, especially during our global seminar tape talks, I really do take those to heart, as in the place and time that I am in currently, almost 18, about to leave high school, going to college. They are very important topics to me. And I really do respect the level of confidence that he has, and I hope to have that as well.
And now for our salutatorian, Winter Edwards, and her most influential educator, Mrs. Megan Sparta.
Hi, my name is Winter Edwards, and my most influential teacher was my art teacher, Miss Smarta. She really helped me tap into my creativity and gave me a great creative outlook and told me how to put my feelings on paper, and it really helped me a lot.
Our next honor scholar and most influential teacher pair, Maria Adamus and Mr. Josh Amstutz.
My name is Maria Adamus, and my most influential teacher is Mr. Amstutz. Our first memory being together in Arkansas our freshman year trip, and him almost tripping and falling into the fire. Definitely an interesting first impression. Seeing him every day around the school with a great big smile on his face definitely makes my day. This year I got to have him as my math teacher, making math not as hard. Thank you, Mr. Amstutz and the Academy of Global Studies.
And now for our next scholar, we have Emmanuel Afalabi and his most influential educator, Miss Christina Deal.
My name is Emmanuel, and my most influential teacher over the past 4 years has been Ms. Dill, my Spanish teacher. I've been with Ms. Dill for 3 years out of the 4 years, and I was also part of the National Honor Society, National Spanish Honor Society, which Ms. Dill led. Ms. Dill has been very helpful during these past 4 years. Gives lots of great advice and is very hard on all her students because she really cares about all her students. She wants everyone to succeed, and I'm really grateful that I had Ms. Dill as a teacher. She's really the definition of what a teacher is, cares about all her students and wants all her students to succeed. So yeah, Ms. Dill is really a great teacher.
Our next scholar, Miss Ina Vance, and her most influential educator, Miss Claudia Brown.
My name is Ina, and my most influential teacher is Miss Brown because she is real and honest. She excels in all subjects and always helps me when I need it, no matter the time or the day. Even during the weekend, she's an email or text away. She shows dedication to her job and always pushes students to achieve their highest potential. When it comes to helping students, Miss Brown is always available.
Our next scholar, Mr. Jonathan Batu, and his most influential educator, Miss Christina Deal.
Hi, my name is Jonathan Batu, and my most influential teacher is Miss Deal, mainly due to the fact that I've had her almost all 4 years of my high school career. And through all 4 years, she's always been there to help me along with just college in general. Specifically this year, she referred me to scholarships and all that. And I wouldn't really have made it through high school without her.
Our next scholar, Ashanti Bourne, and her most influential educator, Miss Jamie Anderson.
Hi, my name is Ashanti Bourne, and my most influential teacher is my 12th grade lab instructor, Miss Anderson. She plays a big part of who I am today. She has taught me so many life lessons, such as when everything is going downhill, always put a smile on your face, and hard work never goes unnoticed. Most importantly, she taught me to always believe in myself. She takes pride in seeing her students succeed. Her patience, kindness, and willingness to listen are qualities that I've learned to demonstrate in my life. She also is very trustworthy and an excellent listener. When I'm looking for a friend to talk to or seeking advice, she's the first person I'll go to. I could sit here and go on, but I just leave it at this. She didn't influence me to become an astronaut or a surgeon. She influenced me to always shoot for the stars and to never lose hope. I'm so glad I met Miss Anderson, and I wish her nothing but the best. Thank you.
Our next scholar is Lewis Brown III, and his most influential educator is Mr. Austin Green.
My name is Lewis Brown, and the teacher I've selected for my most influential teacher is Austin Green, or Mr. Green for short. Mr. Green was a teacher that was always a ray of golden sunshine in my life, and he always had a way to somehow brighten up my day, bringing a smile to my face. He's charismatic, sociable, helpful, and was always present for the students. Mr. Green was always there whenever something arose, whether it be educational or personal. When I think of a teacher that was always there, I always thought of Mr. Green. When I thought of a teacher that I could fall back to, I thought of Mr. Green. When I thought of a teacher that was paramount in my life, I think of Mr. Green.
Our next scholar, Alejandra Cardona Cristobal, and her most influential educator, Miss Agnes Boateng.
My name is Alejandra Cardona Cristobal, and my most influential teacher is Miss Boateng. The reason why I choose her is because she has encouraged us to keep moving, even if we fail. Sometimes as a teenagers, we fail a lot, and she has helped us bring our emotions and our encourage up.
Our next scholar is Janak Shamlagai, and his most influential educator is Mr. Joshua Amstutz.
Hello, my name is Janak Shamlagai, and the teacher I selected was Mr. A. The reason I selected him is because that his class is fun and he makes learning fun. In the past, math classes were just like any other classes. They were very traditional, but Mr. A combines the traditional style with PBL and makes the projects exciting and fun. Before, you usually just do hypothetical situations in classes, but he actually makes you play game and do stuff physically. Also, last year when I had COVID and missed school for 2 weeks, he was very patient and retaught me the things during warrior time. The reason I selected Mr. A was because he is very intelligent, optimistic, and compassionate.
Our next scholar is Amber Connor, and her most influential educator is Mr. Matt Allender.
My name is Amber Connor, and my most influential teacher is Mr. Allender because I really appreciate all the extra time that he gave me and even my brother when he was his teacher.
Our next scholar is Talak Dahal, and his most influential educator is Mr. Josh Amstutz.
My name is Tilak Dahal, and the teacher I like the most is Mr. A. He is a very caring teacher who wants to help every student so they can succeed. He respects everyone in the building and talks to them so politely. I like him the most because Mr. A is super good at teaching. I understand a lot of things when he teaches. I can tell that he never gets bored with teaching. He never ignores a student when they need help with something. He makes our learning so fun in so many different ways. Even when math feels boring sometimes, he makes it seem fun and interesting. Sometimes when I miss a day, he tells me to come to his warrior bill so he can help me with what I missed. He takes time to explain everything so students can understand the concept. Having a teacher like Mr. A during my senior year is such a blessing. I have been going to school for 12 years and met so many different teachers, but Mr. A is the best teacher I have ever had. I chose him because he is smart, caring, and very positive person.
Our next scholar, Aminata Dia, and her most influential educator, Miss Kimberly Tanai.
Hey, my name is Aminata Dia. My most influential teacher is Miss Tanai. I first met Miss Tanai when I first arrived, and she was the only teacher I could speak French to. She also helps me with my schoolwork, and she is also the teacher that taught me how to write essays. And when she couldn't help me with my homework or anything about school, she would get me someone that could. For example, she couldn't help me with my chemistry work, but she got her husband, Brad, to help me with it, which is the only reason why I passed that class. Also, Miss Tanai says, your own success is your own accomplishment, but I think it's because of how she helped me.
Our next scholar is Natasha Diaz, and her most influential educator, Mr. Tristan Walker.
My name is Natasha Diaz, and my most influential teacher is Mr. Walker. This year was the first time I met him, but he made me realize a lot of aspects about myself, school, and life. Whenever I wasn't mentally okay, he noticed and he will always let me vent to him. He always listened and even gave me advice. He's the most understanding person who knew about my situations and never once looked down upon me. I appreciate him a lot. Without him, I wouldn't have decided to continue going to college nor even getting my honors diploma. Thank you for everything, Mr. Walker.
Our next scholar is Alvine Jomkum, and her most influential educator, Mr. Jacob Scott.
Hi, my name is Alvine Jomkum, and my most inspirational teacher is Mr. Scott. Throughout my years at Winton Woods, I had many teachers that helped me along the way to get where I am today as a student and as a person, but none of them had such a great impact on me other than Mr. Scott. Mr. Scott has been there since my junior year, helping me with assignments that he doesn't even teach, essays, all my scholarship essays and my college essays, and just general life questions and knowledge. I'm so thankful to have had Mr. Scott as a person, as a guardian in a way, and as a mentor throughout my years at Winton Woods. And I'm extremely thankful for his generosity and his ability to just help me throughout my journey here. So yeah, thank you, Mr. Scott.
Our next scholar is Adriana Duenas Uribe, and her most influential educator is Mr. Andrew Locke.
Hi, my name is Adriana, and my most influential teacher was Mr. Locke. I chose him because he always made the class fun, and I enjoyed doing the work in there. And I especially liked when we were doing The Great Gatsby. And I would always look forward to whatever it was that we were doing that day. And he really is a great teacher, along with Ms. Albers. And I will always remember my sophomore year of high school because of all the fun memories I've made in that class. And I'm grateful to have had him as a teacher.
Our next scholar is William Edwards, and his most influential educator, Miss Eloise Richardson.
Hello, my name is Will Edwards, and my most influential teacher is Miss Richardson. She is the most influential to me because she's always come to school with a smile on her face, and she's the nicest person I've ever come across at this school. She helped me through a time in my life where I was going through a lot of personal things at home. She always gave me snacks and Gatorades and things on game day to keep my spirits up. And I'm forever grateful for that. So, Ms. Richardson, thank you for everything that you've done.
Our next scholar is Aaron Figueroa Ramos, and his most influential educator is Mr. Zachary Sauer.
My name is Aaron Omar Figueroa Ramos, and my most influential teacher was Mr. Sauer. I currently do not have him, but throughout the times that I did have him, I had the greatest time of my life, you know. I had him for science, and we did so many things together, and we had so much fun, so many labs, great students, great teacher. I learned so much. And now I have him for a club, which is video game club. We play Magic the Gathering, you know, the card game, and we also play video games, and we also eat, hang out, and have fun. We also have other teachers who play card games, who are Mr. Cork and Coach C, who are also great teachers, help out a lot of students, and we always have fun.
Our next scholar is Lauren Fowler, and her most influential educator is Miss Danielle Ashbrook.
Hello, my name is Lauren Fowler. Throughout my 4 years of high school, I've had this teacher, and I've known her for 5.5 years from when I started band in the second half of my 7th grade year. She would often come into my band class throughout my middle school days, and Miss Ashbrook has shown much resilience, thoughtfulness, and great loyalty and care toward the band and people in her life. She loves all of her students. I look at her like another mom, the mother of band, which has taken a significant part of my life. Now, I wasn't the best student. I was a pretty great player, though, given how recently I started playing the clarinet, but I'd struggle and let myself get distracted. But she had never in all that time just left me to figure things out for myself. She'd always help and support me on the side. She'd notice my hard work and effort when I'd apply it and praise me for it. She'd praise the heck out of my artwork. The first piece I'd ever shown her blew her away, so much apparently that she later gifted me with an advanced coloring book, having lots of designs and details, and left me a little note in there reading, "Can't wait to see some finished pages. Love, Miss A." I feel amazing about how much she praised my artwork and my music, and how much she pushed me to hone my skills. She'd even send me emails or handwritten letters when I was at home the whole time during COVID virtual year. She sent me a letter saying, "I know you are disappointed about how this whole thing turned out this year, but you have been working hard and getting all of your work done, and I am so proud of you." Miss A is amazing and so generous and always has ways of putting true smiles on my face, even though I can drive her up the wall sometimes like many of her other kids. But she'd make me want to do better and be better, and I have become way better. She would have confidence and believe in me, telling me there is so much I could do. She pushed me like a mom pushes their child. I thank you, Miss Ashbrook, for being you and looking out for me. I love you. I truly, truly appreciate you.
Our next scholar is Leslie Gervasio and her most influential educator, Mr. Andrew Locke.
I'm Leslie Gervasio, and the most influential teacher to me is Mr. Locke. He is a very positive, energetic, and humorous person. Every time I walked into his class, there was never a boring day. He encouraged us to have a growth mindset, and personally, that has helped me because now I never settle for the bare minimum. He was also someone who helped us express our creativity through projects, and I'm a very creative person, so that's definitely helped me. And I just want to say thank you, Mr. Locke, for being that influence on me, and it has made me a better person today.
Our next scholar is Chance Gray and her most influential educator, Miss Katie Nickel.
Hi, my name is Chance Gray. Right now I'm in Atlanta performing for the Women's Basketball Takeover for Overtime. I'm here to acknowledge my most influential teacher, Miss Nickel from Lakota West. She became my favorite teacher the first minute I walked into the door. The bright smile she displayed on her face. Even when I was having a good day or a bad day, she always made me feel better, and going to her class is what most times got me through the day. The reason why she became my favorite teacher, she took time to learn me and understand how I work and how I reacted to certain things, and just became a person I could go to and vent to. And that's why I'm acknowledging her as my most influential teacher.
Our next scholar is Ariana Green and her most influential educator, Mr. Andrew Locke.
Hi, my name is Ariana Green, and I chose Mr. Locke as my most influential teacher. As a coach to me as well as a teacher, he has shown me two important qualities that I would take on with my career through college as well as I am doing now in high school, which is leadership and motivation. Regardless if we were last place in a race or last in missing assignments, he still motivated us to continue as if we were in first place. He focused on the journey rather than the final destination, but it is always important to finish your best as long as you enjoyed it. So thank you for everything you've done for me and my peers.
Our next scholar is Myona Griffin, and her most influential educator is Mr. Adib Dixon.
My name is Myona Griffin, betterly known as Jay, perhaps. And the teacher I chose is Mr. Dixon. And I chose Mr. Dixon because when I first came to Winton Woods, I stuck out like a sore thumb. I didn't really look the way I did now. I wore cornrows straight to the back of my head and pants that were 3 sizes too big and polos, and I would flatten my chest and wear little boy shoes to mimic the appearance of a boy. But what a lot of people didn't know was I was non-binary. And the first person to really accept me for that was Mr. Dixon. And anytime I see him in the hallways, he still addresses me as Joey. What a lot of people don't know is Jay derives from the name Joey, but I just go by Jay because it's more comfortable that way for me. But Mr. Dixon has always known that since I first came here in 7th grade, 6th, 7th grade. I also wanted to shout out a couple other people. First person is Miss Crenshaw. Well, Dr. Crenshaw, because if it wasn't for her, I would not be graduating with honors right now, nor would I be having the opportunities that were presented to me this year. I would probably be struggling way more and with my head up underwater. I also want to shout out Miss Becky for always inspiring me to go harder and create and be myself. Thank you.
Our next scholar is Julia Hairston, and her most influential educator is Mr. James Lale.
My name is Julia Hairston Rosario, and my favorite teacher is Mr. Lale. I like Mr. Lale because you can tell that he cares about his students, and he also is someone who is able to appreciate the beliefs of others, even if he may not understand it. Mr. Lale is always a teacher first, but he always strives to be a friend to his students as well, and always make sure that they're okay.
Our next scholar is Gabrielle Hall, and her most influential educator is Mr. Andrew Locke.
Hi, my name is Gabrielle Hall, and I will be attending Winston-Salem State University for pre-nursing. For my honors diploma, when we decided to do this video, my most influential teacher was Andrew Locke, but Mr. Locke to me, of course. I think I chose him to be my inspirational teacher because I'm normally speaking the shy person of the group, and so my sophomore year when I went into his class, he always had like a smile on his face and always had a positive attitude, and I was like, I want to be like that. I want to walk into a room and not be timid or like just walk in and do nothing. I want to have that smile on my face. So he challenged me to get out my comfort zone, and not only with his personality, but with the projects we did. It caused me to like act silly in front of a camera, which I'm not actually at all. But it caused me to like want to experience more outside of my life and outside my comfort zone. So I think over the other 2 years, even during COVID, I tried to get out and I tried to be that person I wanted to be from the beginning of sophomore year when I met Mr. Locke. And that is why I chose him to be my inspirational teacher.
Our next scholar is Tavera Hill, and her most influential educator is Miss Jamie Anderson.
My name is Tavera Hill, and my most influential teacher was Miss Anderson. A teacher affects eternity. They can never tell when their influence stops. This was a great quote to describe Miss Anderson's impact on me. She has helped me so much over the past 2 years. Not only did she teach, she truly cared about my future. She helped me pick a college to go to. She helped me get certifications, which will aid me on the road to becoming a nurse. She was always so patient and understanding, and she made sure I never gave up. This video was the least I could do to show my appreciation.
Our next scholar is Nia Hooten, and her most influential educator is Mr. Tristan Walker.
Hi, my name is Nia Hooten, and my most influential teacher is Mr. Walker. Mr. Walker is the 11th grade English teacher who has done an amazing job teaching it. I was never the best at reading, and English was one of my least favorite classes. But he made the class interactive, fun, and creative. I was always excited to go to his class every day knowing that something interesting would happen. He was also a nice person to talk to and raised your spirits for the rest of the day. This is why I chose Mr. Walker as my most influential teacher, and I'm honored to have learned from him. Thank you.
Our next scholar is Janelle Jackson, and her most influential educator is Mr. Donnie Gillespie.
Hello, my name is Janelle Jackson, and my most influential teacher is Coach G. High school was far from what I expected it to be. I did not expect it to be like Camp Rock or High School Musical from Disney, but I also didn't expect the worldwide virus to take over my sophomore year, and the rest is history. I started off high school thinking teachers would not be fun and would make high school harder than it should be, but then I met Coach G. My second semester of freshman year, I had gym. I chose it, but I was willing to play another sport so I wouldn't have to keep taking it all the way up until senior year. And now I would absolutely love to have taken that class every school day until my last, even if that means taking Coach G's chair when he's not in it rather than actually playing basketball. He made my high school experience worthwhile because he is super easy to talk to, and even if I didn't need it that day, every day there was a hey, how are you, and a hug to follow. Spending time in his bell and watching the smile he brings on other students' faces with his goofiness and jokes is something that I will never forget because he also put a smile on mine. Watching Coach G do what he does best, just a bell a day into the last, showed me the type of person to be in any workforce and career path I choose. Committed, energetic, respectful to those around you, and motivated. You aren't just my influential teacher because we share the same birthday, but because you are good at what you do and you never fail to do your part as a teacher. You made every day at school, and this is something that I will take on with me after high school. Thank you.
Our next scholar is Quentin Jenkins Jr., and his most influential educator is Miss Kamaya Pope.
Hello, my name is Quentin Jenkins, and my most influential teacher is Miss Kamaya Pope. I met Miss Pope my sophomore year because she taught me in honors English, and originally I wasn't too fond of her because I thought she was mean, but as the year grew on, we grew tighter. And I chose her as my most influential teacher because she reminded me of my parents and the way she motivated me and propelled me to get better at my work and my writing and stuff. So I would just want to say thank you for encouraging me and being my guidance.
Our next scholar is Miranda Johnson, and her most influential educator is Miss Rachel Pigg.
Hi, I'm Miranda Johnson, and I picked you, Miss Pigg, for my most influential teacher because I feel like throughout my high school career, you're one of the teachers that has come to me as a more personal level. Like, you're okay with joking around, but then also when it's time to get work done, you're like straightforward with it, and you're also like understanding with the late work. And I feel like that's going to shape me for my college future, so I'm very thankful to you.
Our next scholar is Tanea Jones, and her most influential educator is Mr. John Beischel.
Hey, my name is Tanea Jones, and I chose to pick Mr. Beischel as my influential counselor because of his willingness to also assist me. His open door policy made it easy for me to step into his office at any time to make sure I was on the right track, from scheduling classes, monitoring my GPA, and the most stressful of them all, the college process. Having him as my guidance counselor helped me to be here today.
Our next scholar is Atiana Lopez, and her influential educator is Miss Donna Wilkie.
Hi, I'm Artana Lopez, and my most influential teacher is Miss Wilkie. Miss Wilkie has been my most influential teacher this year. She's a great teacher and overall an amazing individual. She's not only helped me with math, but also taught me like other life lessons. She's helped me apply to scholarships, colleges, and she's even helped me with other schoolwork. What I like the most about Miss Wilkie is how open and transparent she is with her students. I am so thankful to have Miss Wilkie as my teacher.
Our next scholar is Michaela Lumpkin, and her most influential educator is Mr. Ryan Martini.
My name is Michaela Lumpkin, and my most influential teacher that I chose is Ryan Martini. He's a brand new math teacher that came this year, and during our study hall / Warrior Bell, he has really helped me when it comes to my college pre-calculus class. And I just think that he brings a new face to the math department. And he's also, I love hearing about how he travels to Australia in his life. And he seems like a very real person, like more than a teacher, more like a friend.
We do have a couple scholars that do not have videos, but we do want to recognize them. Our next scholar is Desiree Mabra, and her most influential educator was Mr. Zachary Sauer. And then we also have our scholar, Brooklyn McMiller. Our next scholar to the stage is Marta Mendoza Rodriguez, and her most influential educator is Mr. Gary Giblin.
My name is Marta Mendoza Rodriguez. My most influential teacher is Mr. Giblin. The reason that Mr. Giblin is one of my influential teachers is because he never rests and stops and encouraging me to learn a new language. I'm very thankful for everything that Mr. Giblin have done for me. Thank you, Mr. Giblin.
Our next scholar is Tadij Miles. I apologize deeply. Taj Miles. And our most influential educator is Mr. Bradney Samina Wazalewski.
My name is Taj Miles. My most influential teacher is Coach C. Even though I have met many great teachers throughout my years, one of them really stuck out to me, Coach C. Whenever I need help, I will go to Coach C and ask him the questions, and he will usually answer my question with another question, which will lead to me figuring out the answer. Also, every time I see Coach C, he's always doing work and putting his priorities first, which inspires me to do my work first and then have fun and do whatever I have to do later. I want to take this time to thank Coach C for all he has done for me and appreciate the impact he has put on my life.
Our next scholar is Keshana Mitchell, and her most influential educator is Miss Kelsey DeMange.
Hello, my name is Keshana Mitchell, and my most influential teacher is Miss DeMange. Miss DeMange is my most influential teacher because she is just literally awesome. Like, she was there for whatever I needed this year, everything. I call her for anything, personal, school, whatever. She was there, and that just meant so much to me.
Our next scholar is Amy Nightingale, and her most influential educator is Mr. Charles Corrick.
Hi, I'm Amy Nightingale, and my most influential teacher is Mr. Corrick because he's always there for me and puts my mental health first during class and continues to check up on me even when I don't have him as a teacher anymore. When I'm struggling or need someone to talk to, he always is there and will bounce ideas off of with me, and he gives really good advice. Mr. Corrick is someone who made me realize engineering could be a career path for me and pushes me to go far in life and reminds me every day how amazing I am and will be in the future. I want to thank Mr. Corrick and tell you that your positive outlook has not gone unnoticed, and thank you for dealing with my attitude every day.
Our next scholar is Sami Ali, and her most influential educator is Miss Jamie Hogue.
Hello, I'm Samiksha Oli or Sami Oli, and my most influential teacher is Mrs. Hogue. And the reason why I picked her is because she goes above and beyond in helping her students become a successful person, and she's absolutely the best. Thank you, Mrs. Hogue.
Our next scholar is Tyshana Price, and her most influential educator is Mr. Roger Osborne.
Hi, my name is Tyshana Price, and I would say Mr. Oz is my most influential teacher. During the past 2 years, he has taught me so many new things that I could carry on for the rest of my life. Mr. Oz also treated us like young adults instead of like kids. He made sure he had all resources available to make sure we had a successful school year. Without him, I don't think I would have been able to find my love of athletic training. I hope I can spread everything he gave me throughout this school year to anyone I meet past high school.
Our next scholar is Bawana Rai, and their most influential educator is Miss Rachel Pigg.
My name is Bawana Rai, and my most influential teacher is Miss Rachel Pigg. I had her as my homeroom teacher when I was in my sophomore year, but didn't really have classes with her. And now I have two, and she is my most influential teacher because she makes me feel comfortable out of all my other teachers. I can talk about things to her that I can't with my other teachers, and she's just there to always listen. So, thank you.
Our next scholar is Andre Reed Jr., and his most influential educator is Miss Teresa Scrizat.
Hi, my name is Andre Reed, and my most influential teacher is Miss Gerjat. She's influential because she always put her students as her #1 priority, She encouraged us to be the best that we could be, and she always helped focus on our future endeavors, whether that was a future career or college, and she always let us know that nothing was impossible.
Our next scholar is Carolina Brendan, and her most influential educator is Miss Pam Nicodemus.
Most influential teacher would be my lab instructor, Miss Nick. She helped me find different jobs and opportunities to pursue my career in the veterinary field. And I appreciate her because she allows me to have fun while I'm learning. And she creates a safe space for everyone to continue to grow.
Our next scholar is Shamaya Rice, and her most influential educator is Miss Jamie Hogue.
Shamaya Rice, and my most influential teacher is Mrs. Hogue. First, I want to start off by saying thank you for helping me throughout my high school career. I appreciate everything you have done for me. You are my biggest inspiration because when I felt like giving up, you wouldn't let me. You always told me how you saw greatness in me and to never give up. You were my Spanish teacher, but if I needed help with assignments for other classes, you would help me as best as you could. You didn't have to, but you did, and I'm grateful I had a chance to have you as my teacher. On my bad days, you always kept me positive, and if I had any problems, I could talk to you about them, even if they weren't school-related. And for that, I would like to thank you once again for being the most amazing, influential teacher.
Our next scholar is Dawson Robeson, and his most influential educator is Miss Karen Ayers.
My name is Dawson Robison, and the most influential teacher I've had this year has been Mrs. Ayers. You see, for the longest time, I was focused on one career path with very little variety in what I thought it entailed. Now, I still like drawing and arts, but by the end of last year, my focus on it as a career path had definitely taken a lot away from that interest. So I started taking coding classes as a distraction and a potential replacement job pursuit. But her web development class had a huge focus on design and color theory, and Code to College, a different course that she suggested to me that I take, it had a lot on the mechanics of video game design. Now, I'd known about these technical aspects of creation, obviously. I don't think anyone wouldn't. But I didn't really consider them as something I could do, or something that could interest me as well as it did. Mrs. Ayers really broadened my horizons and essentially reinvigorated my interest in art. Thanks.
Our next educator is Christian Rotan, and his most influential educator our next scholar is Christian Rotan. His most influential educator is Mr. Josh Amstutz.
Hi, I'm Christian Rotan, and my most influential teacher is Mr. Joshua Amstutz. He did something that no other teacher I've had could ever do, and he made me understand math. There's just some way he taught it that just made it click with me somehow. I don't understand how it works, he just did it. And his energy in the classroom just really made the class a whole much better thing to go to, and instead of being a source of dread, it was just something pleasant. So.
Our next scholar is William Rotan, and his most influential educator is Mr. Zachary Sauer.
Hi, I'm William Rotan, and my most influential teacher is Mr. Zachary Sauer. He, in my first period physical science, he made a more warm and fostered environment in my classes that was a bit different from most of my other classes, and made high school learning a lot less scary than it was. Because when they told us about high school, they were like, "Oh, they're gonna teach, or they're gonna hold you down real bad, give you a ton of detention," stuff like that. And then he made it a lot more warm and inviting and less spooky and intimidating, and he fostered a lot of a more chill environment, I'll put it that way, and he just kind of made learning fun at the high school and set a very good precedent for the years to come.
Our next scholar is Naomi Scott, and her most influential educator is Miss Rachel Pigg.
Greetings, I am Naomi Scott. My most influential teacher is Miss Peg. She always keeps me smiling. She's helped me keep a healthy mental state this year. There's never a dull day in her classroom. Thank you.
Our next scholar is Ame Swovi, and his most influential educator is Miss Christina Jaranek.
My name is Amesi Alvi. My most influential teacher is Miss Jaranek. I think she's a role model to a lot of students at Winwood, and for everything she had done for me, the least I can do to repay her is to thank her. I would describe her as always being kind and understandable. She demonstrated all these characters not only to me, but to every student at Winwood. And shout out to all the teachers too, Miss Edmondson, Miss Pig and Miss Sprague, Miss Poe, Mr. Green, every teacher at Winwood. Thank all of y'all.
Our next scholar is Joshua Shepard, and his most influential educator is Miss Kendra Sprague.
Hello, my name is Joshua Shepard, and my most influential teacher is Miss Sprague. She is the most influential teacher to me because whenever I had writing block for an essay, she would give me advice on how to start it. Because I am very passionate at writing, and her advice was priceless.
Our next scholar is Edwin E.J. Short, and his most influential educator is Mr. Tristan Walker.
Hi, my name is E.J. Short, and my most influential teacher is Mr. Walker. A multitude of good-spirited individuals have influenced my life, many of which were school staff and coaches. One that stood out, however, was Mr. Walker. He has engineered the perfect blend of complex college-level learning and engaging, enjoyable assignments. He makes the classroom environment a place I look forward to attending Monday through Friday. Mr. Walker is always eager to engage in intellectual discussions and debates on topics relevant to what we are learning in the classroom. Challenging subjects are not a burden in his class, and our aspirations are never out of reach in his eyes. He has motivated me to pursue my dreams and equipped me with the skills required to accomplish such. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Walker.
Our next scholar is Kalia Smith, and her most influential educator is Miss Jamie Hogue.
Hello everyone, my name is Kalia Smith, and my most influential teacher is Miss Hogue. I first met Miss Hogue the beginning of my junior year because she was my Spanish teacher. The thing I love the most about Miss Hogue is how she's able to form relationships with her students. Even though Miss Hogue is no longer my teacher, our relationship continues to grow. Miss Hogue has inspired me in a number of ways and continues to with every conversation we have. So thank you, Miss Hogue, for everything that you do for me.
Our next scholar is Ronnie Taylor Jr., and his most influential educator is Miss Taria Sampani Fields.
Hello, my name is Ronnie Taylor, and my most influenced teacher is Miss Fields. It started back when I was in the 7th grade, and I was failing her class. I had an F. And I remember that the school kept on talking about, you know, when you go to high school, you must have well, if you want a scholarship, have all straight A's, you know, make sure you have all A's and B's to be on the right track. And Ms. Fields also had a little party for the people that had A's in their class and B's in their class. It was really passing her class. And it was about 2 to 3 people. And her parties was nice. I mean, she had cotton candy. She had it with a little Sprite inside of it. She had pizza. Tons of candy that I saw at Sam's, and I was like, I want to do that. And as me, you know, I kept on fooling around in class, and then some days I didn't understand what she was teaching, and one day I just decided to sit down and really separate myself from everyone else. And I was looking at the board, and I was like, wow, this is really easy. And like that literally made me want to do way much better. So each day and day, I got way much better. And the next year, I started having all straight A's. And I really want to thank her for showing me that, you know, success is actually built off of failure. And, you know, I appreciate her for that.
Our next scholar is Andrew Thompson, and his most influential educator is Miss Anna Charlotte Owens.
Hello, my name is Andrew Thompson, and my most influential teacher is Miss Owens. Little Andre, the name reeks in my ears every day as I promise you better than my older brother. You taught me young many aspects of life. I remember the very first time I met you, I thought this woman was wild. You were ecstatic, you were loud, you could tell that you loved many things. The first thing you implemented in my head was very in the amount of ethical issues and how they impact the world around us. You weren't dependent upon books, but upon the bigger picture and how books weren't good enough to get the real image. You showed us many first-hand accounts. You taught us to invest ourselves into our reading and how the things going on could affect us. You also gave us many simulations in a way that made us more involved. Another thing that stuck with me was your empowerment to women and people in general. I thought in my time I never met a woman this progressive. You display many things. You show control, you show relentlessness, and you also show how to be respectful. I had never seen a woman at that age or even met a woman that even spoke the way you did. In middle school, you either become smarter and grow or you become less and you digress. A woman like you, I thought, wow. I hope many women I meet in the future lays and future lifetime are much like you, with more attitude, more respect. You were also very realist, and your things, the aspects you said, were more based upon reality and not upon feelings and emotion. The biggest lesson you taught me is you should be progressive with your future, and you don't have to be a product of your environment. I grew up in Southeast Connecticut with many gangs, violence, and many drugs, seeing homeless people, and you grew up in a similar place in Gary, Indiana. I've seen one of the worst places and seen some of the things you've done. In conclusion, I just want to tell you thank you for the things you showed me and empowerment in my deeper reading and empowerment of women and how the past should be progressive for your future. I just want to thank you every day with the name that reached my head, Little Andre.
Our next scholar is Deja Thompson, and her most influential educator is Miss Abby Meyer.
Hi, my name is Deja Thompson, and my most influential teacher was Coach Meyer. She wasn't a teacher that I had in class, and she wasn't an administrator that I had. She was just my coach. She was always been by my side for every year of school. I had her for 8 seasons and 4 years. She influenced me to become the person that I am today. I wouldn't be able to do much without her that I did, like committing to a college that she picked out, and being a goalie for that college. And I wouldn't have my records that I have or awards that I have. And even though that I don't say it a lot or show it, or I don't seem like I appreciate it, I am so thankful that she was there with me and there for me. So, thank you.
Our next scholar is Shailin Uribe Martinez, and his most influential educator is Miss Connie Tucker.
Hello, my name is Shailin Uribe Martinez, and my influential teacher is Miss Tucker from Scarlet Oaks. Why I chose her is because for the past 2 years, she's been like a role model since my career path is surgical technologist, which is like cleaning up surgical instruments and basically becoming a surgeon. She taught me a lot of things that happen, like a bunch of responsibility, what happens like with the patients, how everything is organized and you have to be precise. And then in that, as a person, she taught me other things as well, like life lessons, like a lot of things. I truly love her. That's something.
Our next scholar is Martario Ward, and his most influential educator is Miss Eloise Richardson.
Hello, my name is Martario Ward, and my most influential teacher is Miss Richardson. I've had her for 2 years, which I couldn't say the same for a lot of my other teachers in the school. And during those 2 years, she have helped prepare me for a better future, and she have rewarded me with many goods, and she just really sweet to me, so I would like to let this be an honor to her.
Our next scholar is Monet Ware, and her most influential educator is Miss Susie Neese.
is Mona Ware. The teacher that influenced me the most is Miss Neese from Scarlet Oaks. She made me the person I am today. Miss Neese has helped me ever since I came to Scarlet. I never had a teacher like her. Her favorite line is, "When you get out of here, I'm not going to be able to babysit you like I do now." In class, she makes sure we are on top of our mental health, our work, and more. She is a teacher that you want sometime in your life. This is the least I could do, and thank you, Miss Neese.
Our next scholar is Maya White, and her most influential educator is Miss Kristen Cortez.
Hello, my name is Maya White, and my most influential teacher is Miss Cortez from Scarlet Oaks. Sometimes we forget the impact that our teachers have on us. Dear Miss Cortez, although I only spent my senior year in your class, you made learning enjoyable and interesting. You are very patient with me and help me understand American politics on a college level. I really appreciate you because you listen, care, and encourage me along my future and help me be more prepared for college. Every day I come to class, you have a positive attitude and you make the class feel welcome and we can talk to you about anything. There are not too many teachers like that. Thank you very much because I enjoyed my year with you. And having you as a teacher, I really appreciated it. I would love to stay in contact with you after high school. You will be missed. And I also would like to thank my 4th grade teacher, Miss Fields. She really impacted me in my life as well.
Our last scholar for the evening, we do not have a video, Miss Noah Wolke, and her most influential educator was Mr. Tristan Walker. Please give another round of applause for all of our scholars and most influential educators.
Little volume on the mic. There we go. Congratulations, scholars.